Welcome to episode 18. Hello, welcome back. We are going to continue where we left off last time, where we took the cylinders off the engine. This week we're going to strip down the cylinder heads, take the valves out, etc. And also prep up the cylinder blocks themselves in preparation for cleaning. Also, I'm going to decarbon those pistons and also give the valves a bit of attention as well. So let's start with stripping down the cylinder head. Okay, so to remove the valve, you need to compress these springs, and of course you'll need a valve spring compression tool. I happen to have one, which is good, so I will fiddle with this and let's have a go at compressing this first spring. And that's not how you do it. I'll put a piece of cardboard in here to protect the valve end. No, it keeps flicking off that, doesn't it? Not happy with that at all. That's seated better, isn't it? Yep. See that seat on there? That's good. So I've compressed the valve spring, and you can see there's a little thing there. So let me just fish that out. He said. One. I'm guessing the other one comes out as well. Yeah. Got it off with a magnet thing. Right, so don't lose those two things. And then I can decompress this spring. Right, I'm going to label each of these items. Oops. Stay on, stay on. So they all go on exactly the same cylinder and same side exhaust or inlet. Okay, so there's the spring and top piece. Need to make sure there's no burr on that top, otherwise it will damage the valve guide. That's beautiful. See that? No burr. Oh, see that? It's there. There's no burr at all on that. So I can push that through. And there we have our valve, which wants a clean. And there's the bottom retainer to come out as well. Okay, so bottom of the spring, top retainer, valve, and there's two little things. Right, I will bag these items up and make sure they go, well, I'm going to clean that first. I'm going to clean that and give it a look at. The climber book recommends a wire brush. So, we shall see how that fares. Right, 1 down, 3 to go. Okay, let me just show you some of these valve components. This is the right-hand inlet valve, which I've done a bit of cleaning up on. Still some work to go on it. Can you work that out? Can you see that? Still some cleaning to do on it, but you get the drift. Okay, obviously there's a valve which sits in the valve guide. Other end of it is a spring. There's a spring seat, which is the flat piece. The spring sits on top of it like that, and then there's a bit goes in the top like that. That all sits over the valve like so. And it's held in place by these fellas, the valve keepers, and these are ace. I've been doing a bit of research on valves and stuff. So these are a two-piece valve. You can actually see the two types of steel joined there. These differ from the one-piece valves, apparently, in some way. Anyway, the key thing about these valve keepers is, and they sit on there like this, is that when they're pushed together, the valve can still spin. Can you see that? So it allows the valve during its actual life to rotate. There is a valve I've seen on here where you're required to file these keepers down, and what that does is that effectively stops the valve rotating, which is not a good thing, apparently. But there you go. So that's the amazing technology of what holds the valve in. It's just these two little things here. Let me get that light sorted out. Okay, look at that. So you can see how that rotates. That's fully closed, and the valve can rotate freely in there, which is key. So, super good. Okay, bag my bits up again. Okay, so we've got the various valve components bagged up, labelled, so we know what they're off. Good. So this is the piston that's requiring some serious decarboning. That's one before it's done, and here's one that's finished. Well, virtually finished anyway. So, compare and contrast. Bit of progress, look. I've made a little wooden frame to hold my cylinder. I've invested in a push rod tube tool, which is just a tenner, so don't feel totally, though it is just a turned bar, but it's precisely turned. And I'm just going to knock the push rod out using that as a drift. I'm going to heat this area first of all with the blow lamp. So, wish me luck. You know what, you can't beat the right tool for the job, can you? Perfect. Right, these are the pushrod tubes that I took out of the engine. There. Yeah. Tell you what, look how good this tool is. Fits perfectly. Anyway, they're the old ones. And that's a new one. Stainless, beautiful. Right, they'll go back in once I get my heads cleaned. So, I just want to show you this. I'm taking the gasket off before I get this cleaned, and look what we have here. A helicoil repair on the central stud. Not a great repair actually. You see that? It stands proud of the head. What to do with that, I wonder. Right, so there's a pair of heads and a pair of cylinders ready to go and be cleaned. Quick look at the before, then we'll do the afters. So there's the before, and that is the after. It's remarkable. Let me show you close up. Okay, here's the head. I'll be honest with you, this has caught me by surprise. This is pristine. Absolutely pristine. So, wow. I am officially a fan of vapor blasting. Look at that. It looks brand new. Nothing short of amazing. Let's see if you can see me hatching in there. So look, can you see it hatching? Anyway, that's staggering. So, very pleased with vapor blasting. Very pleased. One little gremlin it has thrown up, though, is this. So, not only have we got this fairly bad repair here of the helicoil, but we've got a casting failure there as well. I'm not quite sure how that's ever managed to get a seal, so a bit unsure how to fix that, if I'm honest with you. A bit unsure, but that's not a good bit of casting, that. However, very pleased with how clean these are. Nothing short of remarkable. Right, we're now going to reassemble this cylinder head. This is the left-hand cylinder head. It says left on it somewhere. There, I think. Inlet and exhaust side. So I've got my inlet and exhaust valves cleaned up. So I think these are relatively good. Cleaned up quite well, actually. That valve surface is all right. The exhaust one is a little less all right. But just go back in anyway. I'm going to put a little bit of grease on these valve stems and then slide them in. I'll start off with the inlet. I've got my bagged components. That's the inlet left-hand stuff, and there's the exhaust left-hand stuff. So I'll be able to put all the components back on exactly as they came off. Right then. Okay, I'm going to give these components a little bit of a covering of oil before I seat them all in, just to, they've all been lovely and clean. So let's start off with this inlet one. Right, where's me thing? So spring seat, spring. These aren't progressive, so they can go in either end. I did notice that there's a spray end which went in down, so I'll continue that. Okay, so that's how that goes on there, lovely. And then I'll just, as I say, I've just lightly greased these stems. Let's pop that. You can't get these the wrong way around actually, because the actual valves are different sizes for the inlet and exhaust, so you have to be a proper idiot to get them wrong. Comments below, please. Right. So all I need to do now is compress this enough to get these valve seats on. Let me just show you. I was trying to find out about unleaded, whether or not these are unleaded, and someone told me that there was grooves which would tell you whether it was unleaded. So if I can zoom in, there's those two grooves there. Grooves. Cool. Valve greased carefully into the valve guide, like so. Unbag the parts for the left-hand exhaust valve. Okay, valves inserted. So first off, the spring seat, the spring, the top piece, which is the retainer, and then compress. Okay, compress the spring, drop in your spacers, and decompress the spring. Okay, quick close up of those then. They're nicely seated. Good. Right, that's the two heads reassembled. Looking good. Now to the push rod tubes. Okay, here's the fresh from the freezer. Super cold these are. So let me start with the first one. See the ice forming on it as we speak. Okay, I'll keep these wrapped up. So this has to be tapped in until that collar is level with that machine surface. So we got our right tool for the job. And our big hammer. And we have a go at tapping these fellas in. Might do it on the floor actually. So that tip there is right on it. Okay, do a second tube, fresh out of the freezer. Somewhere to go yet. Right, finished cylinders. They look really good. Very pleased with those. Very pleased with those. Well, I hope you found that useful. I'm blown away by vapor blasting. I think it's amazing. Anyway, tune in next time, where we will put the whole thing back together again. I need to order a whole new set of gaskets and O-rings and seals and the like to reassemble, so we'll do that next weekend. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks again.